So attracting your first client in real estate, man, how did you do that, or how will you do that? If you're a real estate agent watching this, man, comment below. Let's beef up those comments to see how you got your first client. I'm gonna tell you a quick story how I got mine, and how I think that if you're a new agent, how you can get your first client and how you can continue to get more clients. And yes, I did not knowingly use one of the F's of real estate. So how I got my first client was at Applebee's. I was at Applebee's and I went up to the bar. Now, granted, I used to always go to Applebee's to get the little brownie bites, which is a bad habit. There was like $1 and some change, so I could get 2 of them in the water with lemon for like $3.98. I know that's bad. I know it to the point, right? So I went up to the bar and the lady, her name was Amy. She was like, "Hey, you were in my mailbox," and I looked puzzled for a minute. I'm like, "Huh?" And she was like, "You was in my mailbox," and I was like, "Oh." See, what happened was my partner Quintella, when I first started real estate, she was doing the forming, the F of real estate, and she was forming the neighborhood. So she had sent out postcards with my face on it, and so I was in this lady mailbox. So I was like, yeah, what's going on? I was like, "You looking to, sell your house?" That's what I said at the time. And she was like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about it." Now, it was funny because the other bartender who was there, me and this girl had been in real estate class together, so she was giving me like this third eye, the salty eye, as me and the lady was talking, because she was like, "I work here with her. This is gonna be my sale." Like, she wasn't saying that, but I could feel through her look that's what she was saying. So long story short, that night, which I had been seeing this bartender maybe for like 5, 6, 7 years, however long I had been going there ordering brownie bites with water, and amongst that, we exchanged numbers. I got an opportunity to go through there and preview the property. I was still new in real estate, so my partner went with me, my coach, Quintella. I call her partner and coach. We walked through the house, gave her some suggestions. Boom, she let me list the house. Now, that was my first listing, and then we turned around and she bought a house with me, because when she took advantage of her equity, then she had to, find a place to go. And so we done that. And it all happened through literally sending out a postcard. And like I said, I felt like I got lucky because I was in the right place at the right time. And I ironically run into her at Applebee's while she was doing her bartending job, which was a part-time gig. Yeah, I say all that to say is, let's just say I did it the way that it was supposed to be done. So you thinking like, "Well, Storm, that was your story. I may not get lucky like that. What could happen for me to get my first client and to continue to get more clients?" So I do have to be transparent and say that I juggle a lot of different businesses. So I have seen short successes and a lot of success in short periods of time in real estate. When I work these philosophies, my thing is, maybe your thing has been the consistency to stay true to some of these processes. So I challenge you to let you know that these work, and then I will also let you know and be transparent. I'm not just like the other person on YouTube or who's coaching you, who just acts like, or seems to be, that they have it all together and they've always done it the right way. I'm here to tell you that I know that when you buckle down and you do the things that you're supposed to do, it works. And then I'm here to tell you that when you don't, it stops working, and it creates frustration and it creates doubt in your mind. So the doubt should not come from if it works or not. The doubt should only come if you're doing the right things that's never happening. And if that's the case, it's probably something you're saying and not doing correctly. So I say all that to say, forming was the F of real estate that we use. Now, there's a good number of F's of real estate, from forming to foundation to formula, function, right? There's a lot of F's of real estate, but this one was forming. So picking a neighborhood, looking on your MLS or however you look up homes, checking out to see, hey, how long had these people stayed in this homes, approximately how much value they would have, and you just send out postcards initially to get familiar. Now, the next step would have been, but I got interrupted at Applebee's after sending that card and being in her mailbox, then we would have went out there and door knocked the places that we sent them to. So best case scenario, if we would have door knocked, then we would have met her face to face and hopefully would have had the same outcome. Yeah, if I never go do the process, or if I never form the neighborhood, if I never send out the postcards, and then if I never door knock after I send them out, and then I never follow up after I door knock. That's the F of real estate too, to follow up. If I never do those things, then how can I expect to get any results? So I'm letting you know that it works. Forming is a big thing in real estate. I think especially right now, the way that buyers are having troubles acquiring property, that we have to use some different ways to find properties for our buyers. I know me and my partner Quintella, we just did it with Mr. Moore. And we probably gonna call it the Mr. Moore, where we actually literally went and found him a house in the neighborhood that he went. We knocked 10 doors. Not 10 doors, we was able to generate over $500,000 in business. Ironically, one of the doors, so you can call it getting lucky if you want to, but I call it being strategic and intentional. So if you want to call it getting lucky, you can, but I guarantee you, if you do the processes, you'll eventually get lucky, if you will, more times than not, than if you don't do them. So as we knocking doors, it might have been like our halfway through, like our 5th door. We knocked the door, and this is on the Mr. Moore project. This is what we would call forming, because we forming the neighborhood. We planting the seed to get something out of it. So as we knock the door, a lady comes to the door. I built a rapport. She had like 2 dogs in the background. One of them was a boxer. But as we talked, I said, "Hey, this is Stormy. This is my partner Quintella." She was kind of a little bit off to the back, not far though, like right but behind my left shoulder. And I say, we're just out here in the neighborhood and just want to know if this is your forever home. We are realtors. And she was like, "Oh no, well this is my mom's home. Actually, I live up the street. My mom's out of town, yada yada yada." So we talked. Then I seen a dog. I said, "Is that a boxer?" She's like, "Yeah," because then she had like a painting of the boxer. And so we just talked and we followed up. She said, "Well, actually, my mom may be thinking about selling." So we talked and we had the buyer. We already had Mr. Moore, who was wanting to be in the neighborhood, and that ended up being now his property. So we was able to actually work with the seller on her side and the buyer on that side. Literally from knocking 10 doors. I mean, this might have been, in totality, it may have took us like 5 hours to do everything. And I'm talking about from generating a list, knocking 10 doors, going back out there for the inspection, and maybe even including closing. Like, it might have been a 5-hour deal to generate $500,000 in business. So, I believe that's a big deal. That's one of the reasons that people should get involved in real estate, because it does give you the opportunity to do things like that and kind of be creative and just go get it. So that was my story about my first piece of business in real estate. If you are a seasoned agent or a new agent, comment below. Let's beef up the comments by saying either how you got your first piece of business or how you think you'll get your first piece of business. Will it be from your sphere? Will it be from forming? Will it be from cold calling? Will it be from door knocking? Where will it come from? What are you thinking? If you need help with that, we do have a program called the Super Solo Agent, which works well whether you're on a team or without a team. Because even if you're on a team, you still want to be a super agent within that team. You don't want to just be the weakest link on your team, because the coach always going to say, we only as strong as our weakest link. So you want to be a strong link on a strong team. And if you need help in that capacity, we're going to F you up with the F's of real estate that we have at the supersoloagent.com. And we have it all bottled up for you to make it crystal clear, so you can get your first sale, but also continue to generate sales and have business come in. Appreciate y'all. Only like, share, subscribe if you feel it's necessary, if you made it to the end. Stormy Mattison with Stormy Matt TV. It's always a blessing to be here. And if you watching, you blessed to be here.